Another beautiful summer afternoon at Target Field, and the Twins have a chance to do something they've never done before in Minnesota, and that is sweep the Orioles in a 4-game series. It's been a good homestand for the Twins so far, and a good season series against the Orioles. They lost on opening day in late March, and now they've won 5 straight games. And good Sunday afternoon to you from Target Field. Dick Bramer along with Bert Blyleven, and we have an interesting pitching matchup for you here this afternoon in the series finale. A year ago, Jake Odorizzi and Alex Cobb were teammates in Tampa Bay, and now they'll be mound opponents.
Yeah, actually, for the last 5 years, they were teammates, pitching mates with the Tampa Bay Rays, and now you get an opportunity to face each other. So when you look at Alex Cobb, now it was late signed by the Orioles for Alex Cobb. He didn't sign until late March, so he didn't really get his first major league start until the middle part of April. It's been a struggle for him, but he has outstanding numbers against the Twins, making his 4th career start and his 3rd here at Target Field. And for the Twins, it'll be Jake Odorizzi. Odorizzi's, yeah, he's pitched well over the last couple innings, but the big thing for him, how's he going to control this offense for the Orioles? They have some very good numbers against Odorizzi. He's making his 19th start against the Orioles.
Because, of course, Tampa Bay, a division rival of the Baltimore Orioles, and the Twins are hoping that Odorizzi can do what the other 3 starters have done in this series. He's shown some improvement in his last couple of starts, lost a tough ball game in Milwaukee, but the Twins would like to get Odorizzi through the 6th, maybe even into the 7th inning here this afternoon in the series finale. And for more on the final game of this series between the Twins and the Orioles, let's go to Audra Martin.
Well, guys, if Jake Odorizzi has a good start, it certainly will help the Twins' chances to do something they have not done since the beginning of June, and that's to win 4 straight ball games. It would also be their first 4-game sweep of the year. Now, things, though, have been good, getting better here at home, so a win would continue that positive trend. They've won 7 of the last 10 here at Target Field, and that includes some wins against the top team in the league in the Boston Red Sox. During that stretch, they're averaging 4.4 runs per game, thanks in large part to 35 extra base hits in this frame. Now, pitchers have also done their part, going at least 6 innings in 7 times in that 10-game stretch. So things are certainly on the up and up here at Target Field, a trend this team would love to see continue.
Part of it is a chance to sweep a team in a 4-game series, which is very challenging. But the biggest thing is keep trying to win games. And, you know, we've done some things a little bit better here over the last 3 days, a little cleaner games. I think the focus has been good.
There's got to be a sense of urgency. We all recognize what's ahead of us, and it's not that we can't settle for a 500-run homestand or all that kind of stuff. We have to win. We have to win now. Got off to a good start, so a 4-game sweep, it would be huge, really huge.
Coming up, Jake Odorizzi and Alex Cobb were teammates for 5 years, but now they're each on brand new teams ready to square off for the first time. It's the Twins and Orioles series finale coming your way next right here on Fox Sports North.
Twins baseball on
I'm Staff Sergeant Emily Nyquist, and we're Minnesota Army National Guard soldiers with the 347th Regional Support Group from Brooklyn Park. We're currently deployed in Kuwait and would like to thank you for your support at home. Go team!
It was just 4 days ago our nation celebrated its independence, and of course the independence that was garnered and is preserved has been preserved because of the men and women willing to serve in the military. And that's what today is all about here at the ballpark. Armed Forces Appreciation Day at Target Field. And with that, we take you to our public address announcer, Adam Abrams.
Of the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and Coast Guard are standing side by side with the Twins and Orioles. In center field to present the large flag, please welcome the Minnesota Twins, currently serving members of the Armed Forces and veteran employees. Today's honorary flag raisers are First Sergeant Katie Blackwell and Staff Sergeant Ashley Mraz, two Purple Heart recipients from the Minnesota Army National Guard. First Sergeant Katie Blackwell received her Purple Heart when she was wounded after her scout vehicle struck an improvised explosive device on May 29, 2006, while conducting convoy operations in Baghdad, Iraq. Staff Sergeant Ashley Mraz received her Purple Heart when she was wounded after her vehicle drove over a pressure plate improvised explosive device near forward operating base Leatherneck in Afghanistan on October 7, 2009. Staff Sergeant Mraz's driver, Specialist George Cawley, was killed. Thank you both for serving our country. Here to sing our national anthem, please welcome a trio of female soldiers and airmen from the Minnesota National Guard.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
This is the 15th annual Armed Forces Appreciation Day today, and this year the Twins are focusing on the Minnesota women active members and veterans who served. And I saw on the graphic up on the big board here at Target Field, there are over 29,000 active and veteran women of the military residing in Minnesota. So as we appreciate all members of the military, we this year at least want to single out the women who have so faithfully served.
Yeah, you know what, God bless everybody, men and women, anybody that serves our country the way that they do and have, and all the ones that have lost their lives protecting this country. God bless you all.
But to the baseball task at hand, which is to do something that the Twins have never done since coming to Minnesota. They've never swept the Orioles in a 4-game series here. Now, they did a few years ago in Baltimore, believe it or not. They won all 4 games at Camden Yards. But this Twins team this year has yet to pull off a 3-game sweep of anybody. And now today they'll go for a 4-game sweep over the Orioles.
Well, of course, the Baltimore Orioles, they're almost coming to the ballpark now with that attitude is how are we going to lose today? And it's a sad situation. I've been on ball clubs like that are very tough to come to the ballpark. And Buck Showalter in his 9th season as manager, 20th overall. He's managed 3 other teams besides the Orioles. Been in the World Series, but this has to be the most frustrating season for Buck Showalter.
And the Menards batting order for the Orioles as they hope to win a game here in Minnesota and win the bookends of the season series. Tim Beckham leading things off. Then Adam Jones, Manny Machado, Mark Trumbo, Chris Davis, Jonathan Scope, Danny Valencia, Trey Mancini, and Caleb Joseph.
And today's starting pitching stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and that'll be right-handed pitcher Jake Odorizzi making his 19th start of the year, his second against the Orioles. He pitched outstanding. He was the Twins opening day starter back on March 29th. He and Dylan Bundy hooked up. Odorizzi in that ballgame, 6 shutout innings. He's hoping to repeat that here this afternoon.
Let's check out the Twins in the field. Center field so easy for the Twins that a caveman can do it. Jake Cave is out there in center again. He's made 3 outstanding plays in this series, 1 each in the first 3 games. Rosario and Kepler join him in the outfield. Escobar, Polanco, Dozier, and Morrison. The infielders, Mitch Garver back behind the plate.
And the first 3 games in this series, we have seen some outstanding plays, and that man right there has made 3 outstanding catches. Robbed a home run of Beckham a couple days ago. Made a nice diving catch out in right center, left center field in yesterday's game. Exciting to watch.
The umpires for the series finale, Jordan Baker has plate duty. Jerry Lane at first, Vic Carapazza at second, Nick Marley at third. You could make a case, I think, that the Twins don't win Thursday's game without Cave's catch. They don't win Friday's game without his catch, and they might not have won yesterday without his catch. Out of the glove of Escobar, and he fires across and still gets the out. We've seen Beckham do it in the last 3 games. Jump on the first pitch of the first at bat and hit it hard. This time out of the glove of Escobar, but then he still threw him out.
This ball hit hard, but a little hook on it right here. Escobar reaching out to his right, in and out of his glove, but he does the right thing. He bare hands the ball and gets it over to Morrison. Don't pick it up with your glove. Pick it up bare hand, and you see how he planted that back foot ready to put something on that ball, and he did. So a nice play.
Nice stretch by Morrison. You can see Beckham coming out of the box. He stopped there because he thought that the ball would be caught, and then couldn't get restarted in time to beat it out. 1 down, and now Adam Jones. Jones robbed of an extra base hit by Cave in the ball game yesterday. Down and in, 1-1.
Jones in his 11th season with the Orioles. First came up with the Seattle Mariners back in 2006. 5-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winner.
And now 2-1. Pitch count's been an issue for Odorizzi. 5 innings in his last start, and he pitched okay. Just made a mistake to Eric Thames, who hit a 2-run home run, the only runs of the game.
Yeah, but he threw 109 pitches.
Exactly.
In those 5 innings.
22 an inning roughly, and that's way too many. 3-1 with Machado on deck. Foul back.
Odorizzi's a fly ball pitcher. That's why I think some of the numbers for the Orioles have been very good against him. He's making his 19th career start against the O's. Jones 14 hits in 46 at bats against Odorizzi with a couple home runs.
And another foul heading back toward the press box. Just above the press box, then beneath. Kind of gotten peppered here in this series. Not here in the booth, but on press row. 3-2 to Jones. Doesn't walk much. And popped up. Should be playable. Garver spins the mask away, makes the catch, 2 down.
Let's take a look at the scouting report on Jake Odorizzi. One thing he needs to do is pick up his pace a little bit. Very slow, very deliberate out there. He needs to get quicker outs. You know, Beckham, thank you very much. One pitch, one quick out, and then pitch deeper in the ball game. As you mentioned, he's never pitched into the 7th inning, so hopefully he can do that here this afternoon.
It's been 2 months since he's won a ball game. His last win coming on May 8th in St. Louis. 2 down. Here is Manny Machado.
Well, you know what? There are some games, Dick, that he's pitched well.
Right.
Where it's not like he's, been shelled over the last 10 games. But when you only go 5 innings, you're depending 4 innings out of that bullpen. That means 4 or 5 guys coming out of the bullpen. You don't know if they're going to be good that day. All you need is 1 reliever. That's why you want to get into the 6th or 7th inning. So maybe only a couple relievers are used.
And if you want to get a win and you're only going to go 5 innings, you're requiring your lineup to produce enough runs to leave the ball game with the lead. And sometimes that doesn't happen either.
Right. Yeah, he has not had the best of run support. The Twins in his 18 starts have supplied only 29 total runs while he's been on the mound.
2-1 to Machado, and now 3-1 to him.
But we're preaching. You look at the Orioles, their staff,
right,
has not received a lot of run support either.
On the outside corner, Twins scored 815 runs last year, and they're on a pace to score only 689 this year. That's a drop of 126 runs in 1 year. On the ground through the hole, and Machado continues to pick up base hits and keep that batting average over 300.
Yeah, Machado came into the ball game 7th in the American League in hitting at .310. Well, the Pizza Ranch for the win here for the Twins this afternoon. What do they need to do? Well, I think we saw the first 3 ball games get a quality start. It started with Barrios' start in Milwaukee. 4 straight quality starts. Even though they lost that game in Milwaukee, you want quality starts. Twins have 36 of them so far this year. They'd like to make it 5 in a row.
And again, in Odorizzi's last start, 5 innings and 2 earned runs. That's not a quality start. There's a first pitch, breaking ball over, strike 1. Mark Trumbo, the batter, the designated hitter for Baltimore. Beautiful day, hardly a cloud in the sky, and they're talking about maybe 90 degrees later today. Breaking ball hit the corner, and it's 0-2.
Yeah, curveball for strike 1, and then the slider right there to get ahead in the count. Odorizzi has 5 different pitches: the 4-seam fastball, the 2-seam fastball, the curveball, the changeup, and then what was called the changeup that actually his mound opponent today, Alex Cobb, taught him, kind of like a split finger.
Split change. 2 strikes to Trumbo. Off the plate, another breaking ball. And now the 18th pitch of the inning.
Well, you can see he works in all his pitches, not only the fastball, the slider, changeup, curveball, cutter.
Against the Orioles on opening day, he had great success to right-handed batters throwing fastballs up and in, up out of the strike zone. Got a lot of swings and misses. And so we'll see, after a steady diet of breaking balls down and away to Trumbo, whether maybe he might try to do that here and get a strikeout and end the inning.
And Machado at first base gets a throw and look over there. 8 stolen bases against Odorizzi on the mound in 10 attempts, and Machado 7 for 8 in stolen base attempts.
And it was a fastball, and it's hit hard to left field. Trumbo waiting for it on a line drive single to left. A couple of 2-out hits, and the Orioles are threatening. And we'll bring up Chris Davis. The team ERA for the Twins 4.37, and that's marginally better than it was last year by season's end. Odorizzi's 4.57, so he really hasn't helped the team ERA that much, but he's had bouts of good starts. Generally has kept the team in the ball game, except for his start here against Texas, his last home start. Here's Davis. Fastball missing inside. His last start here at Target Field lasted just an inning and 2/3, and he gave up 6 earned runs. One 1-0. 20th pitch of the inning for Odorizzi. drifts up and away.
Well, 19.3 pitches per inning for Odorizzi, and you wonder why he can't get into the 7th inning. See Lance Lynn in the American League right behind him.
You'd think, though, wouldn't you, that there'd be one start in there where the pace of the game would, be moving along pretty well, and he'd be able to get an out in the 7th inning. He hasn't gotten one out in the 7th inning.
Well, sad to say, if I'm the pitching coach, I need to go out there and say, let's go speed it up a little bit. You got your defense on the heel already here in the 1st inning. Guys will start looking around up in the stands.
3-0, and Davis takes a strike.
And trust your stuff. Attack the strike zone. When somebody throws almost 20 pitches per inning, tells me that he's unsure of attacking the strike zone. He's trying to nitpick.
Three and one. Popped up near the Oriole dugout. Sometimes they spin back to the field. That one just made it over the net. The wind again is blowing in from right field. Open, of course, down the right field line with the plaza area out there. And that wind may have helped push that ball foul. So now Davis with a full count. Scope on deck.
Machado and Trombo get a head start here.
Got him on the inside corner. Buzzed a fastball over the edge. And the Orioles strand 2 in the 1st. Stop you if you've heard this before. You've got to play them one at a time. Be nice to pick up a 4-game sweep, but you just have to focus on the task that day, and that is with this Menards batting order to beat the Orioles. Jorge Polanco moving up to the leadoff spot. Joe Mauer out of the lineup. Eddie Rosario, Brian Dozier, Eduardo Escobar, Logan Morrison, Robbie Grossman, Max Kepler, Mitch Garver, and Jake Cave.
And today's starting stats are brought to you by Home Furniture, and that'll be Alex Cobb. Alex Cobb making his 16th start of the year. Free agent at the end of last year. Really didn't have a lot of interest. Ended up signing in late March a 4-year contract with the Orioles. And he's had some pretty good numbers against the Twins in his career, making his 4th career start. 3rd here at Target Field.
There's Polanco, and he takes the first pitch at the knee, strike 1. When the Twins were in Baltimore to open the season, Cobb had signed with the Orioles, but he wasn't ready to pitch in a game yet. In fact, he didn't pitch for the Orioles until April 14th. The closest comp the Twins have to Cobb would be Lance Lynn, who signed with the Twins a week before Cobb did with the Orioles, and Lynn and Cobb have both struggled a bit to get untracked. It's just the Cobb struggles have extended a little bit longer than Lynn's have. 2 strikes to Polanco.
He, like all the Oriole pitchers, have not had a lot of run support. That's why the 2-10 record. Very high ERA. Now, Cobb's best pitch is his curveball, but he's not overpowering. He'll top out at 92, 93. He'll mix in that split thing changeup that he taught Odorizzi.
2 strikes to Polanco. Checked his swing. Did he go? Strike 3, says Nick Marley. And Polanco's gone on strikes. 1 away. And that might have been the thing, that split change that elicits a lot of check swings. And that might have been the pitch that got Polanco.
Well, the pitch is down and in, and left-handers like it down and in, and that looked like the hard breaking ball right there.
One down, and now Rosario.
Saw the slower one to get strike 2, and then he tightened it up to get the strikeout.
Tapped foul behind Jeff Smith. 1 strike. Cobb's done better as of late over his last 4 starts. An opponent batting average of just .237, but you saw for the season the opponent batting average is well over 300. Fouled back 2 strikes.
Yeah, 318. He's given up 14 home runs. Left-handers hitting 325, and right-handers hitting 311. And the fastball, the curveball, the changeup. He'll mix in the slider now and then, but mainly adds and subtracts with that curveball.
I have no idea what the free agent market is going to look like this offseason or how it will play out. But I'll bet you we won't see pitchers, established starting pitchers, sign late with teams, in part because of what happened to Lynn and the awful April that he had and the poor start this year for Cobb. Swing and a miss, and Rosario strikes out number 2. Take a look at the Orioles out in the field. Adam Jones is a fixture out in center field. He's a free agent after this year. Then Mancini and Valencia joined him in the outfield. Beckham, Machado, Scope, Davis on the infield, and Caleb Joseph behind the plate. Two down. That'll bring up Brian Dozier. 2 strikeouts on just 8 pitches. Dozier just 1 for 7 against Cobb. And a 9 pitches. Cobb breezes through the first inning.
been increasing baseball activity over the last couple of days. Each day has gone well, and Paul Molitor says they plan on him being good to go for his return on Thursday. Jake Cave has been strong at the plate for the Twins lately, but Molitor says they don't plan on moving him up in the lineup, mostly because they do not want any added pressure to disrupt his progress. 10 minutes after the game yesterday, Fernando Rodney was already lobbying for the chance to go again today. And Paul Molitor says he's not opposed to it if they need him, simply because his arm is one of the most resilient on the staff. Guys.
Thank you, Audra. Paul went on to say that when he was with the Toronto Blue Jays, he thought Dwayne Ward, who was a great reliever in his time, set up man first, then a closer for the Blue Jays. He thought from memory that Dwayne Ward pitched in 8 straight games. He says we're a lot more protective of our arms these days than they were back then.
Yeah, Dwayne Ward had a nice career.
2-0 to Jonathan Scope. Odorizzi with 25 pitches, just 13 strikes, and a ball hit to right, a base hit. It's the 3rd Oriole hit. Kepler backhands it, and Scope has a leadoff single.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to Mike Marshall. What did he appear in 106 games that one year when he was with the Dodgers? Something like that.
Well, and then with the Twins too.
Yep.
You know, he had Gene Mauch was the manager, and Gene loved to run him out there just about every day if he could. Here's Danny Valencia. So Odorizzi has faced 6 men. The Orioles have 3 hits.
Well, you're thinking double play right here, but only 5 double plays turned behind Odorizzi so far, this being his 19th start.
There's a breaking ball over for a strike.
Because he's more of a fly ball pitcher.
One strike to Valencia. Ground ball to short.
Turn it.
Out at second. And Dozier with a nice pivot with Polanco's throw below the waist. That was a nice adjustment by Dozier in the middle of a double play.
Well, he got the ground ball. 6 double play now turned behind Odorizzi. So good turn of a double play. Good feed by Polanco over to Dozier. And middle infielders need to do this too. Even if that throw was low, make that runner get down.
Best at that was Cal Ripken Jr.
Yes, he was.
2 down, and now Trey Mancini. Strike on the outside corner. Odorizzi with a lot of pitches thrown in the first inning, and if he can get Mancini and get him quickly, a nice recovery inning in the second. Down the middle again. Mancini, like so many of the Oriole hitters, numbers way down from a year ago. Mancini put together a great rookie season last year. Checked his swing. 1-2.
Yeah, a lot of the other guys have more than just 1 year in. Mancini, they almost, he always, when I came up, don't fall into that sophomore jinx, you know, to where you're going to have 1 good year and then they're going to catch up to you, find out how they pitch you.
I mean, we're talking for a number of hitters in their regular lineup. A batting average drop off of 50 to 60 points from a year ago.
Yep.
So, no, it's no wonder why the Orioles have just 24 wins on the season. They haven't hit.
Hitting .227 as a ball club.
And now 3-2. We've seen Odorizzi do a lot of this. He got ahead, strike 1, strike 2. I don't know if he tries to nibble or what happens, but you end up having a lot of deep counts.
4 3-ball counts already, and this is hitter number 7. Excuse me, 8.
And he came back with a fastball and struck him out. Only 3 men back in a scoreless second.
Here in day games, and today's a day game. 0-7. Look at the earned run average. 8 night games, a little bit better, but still 5.20 ERA. So somebody tell him it's a day game. Quick.
I'm guessing he's got to be aware of that.
I hope so.
90 degrees out. 1-0 to Escobar. Then Morrison and Grossman. On the outside corner. And now 1-2.
Okay, even though the record's 2-10, it's not because of walks. He does give up a lot of hits. Cobb coming into today's play, 2.7 walks per 9 innings, about 6 strikeouts per 9. And over his career, right about those numbers. 50 major league wins.
2-2. The start of the year, you imagine what would have to happen to make the Orioles contenders in a very tough division, and one of them was Cobb pitching to form, and he hasn't done that. Fouled away.
A 12-game winner last year for the Rays in 29 starts, worked about 180 innings. ERA at 3.66. That's the most that he has won in one season. A couple times 11 with the Rays, another 10-win season. Then he went through the Tommy John surgery.
Another 2-2 to Escobar. And now full count. Been a good at bat for Escobar so far. Full count to the leadoff man in the Twins second. And another strikeout. 3 already for Cobb. 1 away. That'll bring up Morrison.
Just a fastball away. Again, Cobb, good control, working the outer half of the plate. Little tail on that 93-mile-an-hour fastball. See the spin, just get away from the swinging Escobar.
And now former teammates, Cobb pitching, Logan Morrison hitting. Over the inside corner. When you think about all the talent that the Rays felt they had to get rid of. Players who were on the team last year, and they had a competitive team on the field last year. All the talent they had to get rid of. Longoria, Morrison, Odorizzi, Cobb, and yet here they are, the Rays. They're playing 500 baseball.
Yeah. Chris Archer, their ace. Yeah. His name is mentioned in some trade talks.
Already this year, Span and Colomé dealt from the Rays to Seattle. 1-1 to Morrison. Off the end of the bat, and fly to short right. And it's the second baseman Scope drifting out to make the catch. Sounded like he cracked his bat. 2 down. That'll bring up Robbie Grossman. The Rays will make up the end of this homestand here after today's game. Kansas City will pull into town for 3, and then next weekend the Rays are here for 4, and then the All-Star break. It'll be interesting to see how many Twins players will make the All-Star team. It's assumed that Rosario will, and hopefully he'll have some company. We'll leave after the ball game next Sunday for Washington, D.C. Strike one.
Big slow curveball for strike one.
I don't know what baseball's planning with the All-Star game in D.C. for the first time since the Senators were there. Strike 2. But I would hope that they would try to connect with the earlier Washington franchise and maybe invite Jim Cott, Camilo Pascual, some of the eventual Twins who played for the Senators in some capacity Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Grossman squirts it toward left field. Nice stop in the hole, and a heck of a play by the shortstop. Grossman will backpedal and get to first base with an infield hit.
That's a nice at bat right there by Grossman. You know, 2 slow curveballs to get ahead in the count, and then Cobb tried to sneak a fastball by him, and he just went with it.
And that'll bring up Max Kepler, who's hit home run in each of the last 2 games, continuing a pattern of good at-bats against Baltimore.
Yeah, 13 career games against the Orioles, 5 home runs. He's driven in 16 runs. That's the most important thing with that high batting average. Back-to-back games of home runs, a 2-run home run a couple days ago, a solo home run yesterday.
Strike over the inside corner. Down and away, 1-1.
I like what Tim Laudner did in the pregame about, you know, what does it mean by hitting down on the ball, and he used Max Kepler for an example about Max saying, I just was hitting too many fly balls. I'm trying to hit the top half of the ball and hit it solid, more like that.
Yeah, not so much focused on launch angle, but exit velocity.
Right.
You get a lot of base hits that way. Back-to-back 2-out hits for the Twins, as the Orioles got back-to-back 2-out hits in their first inning.
I think that what creates, and Tim talked about it, that level swing. That's a nice level swing right there by Kepler. Now, if that ball, you know, if he has a little bit underneath it, may go out of the ballpark. But right there, he got a good part of the bat on it, and it's a line drive base hit. So back-to-back hits for the Twins.
Now, you say level swing, but that's in quotation marks, because what hitting coaches used to preach, the pitch is coming in at a 6-degree angle because the pitcher's releasing it from the mound. So generally, and of course curveball, it's different, and split change is different, but you know, the ball comes in from an elevated platform, if you will, on the mound, so it's coming down, and the ideal swing used to be something that was going to intersect that pitch on its downward plane. Swing and a miss, and it's 0-2. And now the contemporary thinking is, well, no, we want to get under the ball and lift it, and Kepler's kind of going back to what used to be taught.
And that's probably the right way to do it, because the strikeout total is, you know, an all-time high in baseball because of that uppercut swing.
2 strikes to Garver.
He's been swinging the bat well,
and he's proven to be a tough out with 2 strikes. So we'll see if he can get something done here. First and second, 2 down, and a little cat and mouse here between the pitcher, the catcher, and the hitter.
Runner at second base. Joseph has to go through a set of signs, and he wanted to make sure they're on the same page.
Down and away. Part of being a good 2-strike hitter is still being disciplined at the plate, and if you've only got 1 swing left, make sure you swing at something that's in the strike zone.
I think what we've seen Mitch do is drive the ball the other way with 2 strikes.
1-2.
Like that.
That's going to carry to the right field corner, chased by Valencia, and it's into the seats.
But even though that pitch was up a little bit, he's still trying to drive it hard the other way because it was on the outer half of the plate. So Garver feeling more and more comfortable at the major league level. I think we're seeing the Mitch Garver the Twins would like to see when they drafted him back in 2013 at the University of New Mexico. Good minor league numbers.
One and 2 to Garver. Runner at second. Grossman has the luxury of, if he wants, taking a huge lead given where Scope and Machado are playing. nobody in the picture there. And another one fouled to almost the same spot. It's kind of the game within the game, but you know, Grossman has average speed. But if Garver gets a hit to the outfield, the Twins might get a run because the Orioles are letting Grossman take as big a lead as he wants almost. Look at where they're playing. And he could take a 30-foot lead if he wanted to. Up high, 2-2. Garver probably caught his best game 2 games ago here. And the batting average climbing on a nightly basis. And now a full count with Cave on deck.
Now the runners will be able to take off here. 3-2, 2 outs.
And a liner, diving catch by Machado. Good at bat for Garver, and he hit a bullet, but within range of Manny Machado, and the inning ends. Their longest homestand of the year, 11 games right before the All-Star break. And Jake Odorizzi toiled and threw a lot of pitches in the first, but he had a much quicker second inning. And we'll see how he fares here in the third with Caleb Joseph leading things off. Joseph and Chance Sisco share the catching duties for Baltimore.
Joseph got to play a couple games ago. Had a 3-hit night. An average of 193.
1 hit up the middle, 2 to the opposite field. I wonder, part of me is hoping this happens, whether this revolution in hitting approach might be short-lived. When you look at so many hitters who are hitting in the low 200s, and the Twins have plenty of them too, whether hitters will quickly conclude, you know, this isn't working. You know, I mean, there's money to be made with a 280 to 300 batting average too, rather than just hitting home runs or trying to.
I think that's always been the Orioles' philosophy, though. You know, even when Earl Weaver was there, they wanted that 3-run home run.
Yeah. But they had guys who could do it and not strike out 200 times, too.
Exactly. It's a different game now.
1-2 to Joseph. Popped up near first. Morrison has an easy catch in foul territory, 1 away.
A good fastball in right there, tied Joseph up, and all he could do was fight it off and popped it up.
1 away, and Eddie Rosario tying his shoe. Well, we feature him in our DQ combination. 7 outfield assists for Rosario. And a bullet to home plate.
I think he's got quite a reputation, and even though it's 7 assists, there's still clubs that think they can run on him, and there's other guys that have more assists, but I don't think you're going to see that much more. If a ball is hit like hard the other day, I'm surprised that Beckham was sent home.
Back in I think it was my first year broadcasting with the Twins, I had an outfielder by the name of Gary Ward, and he led the American League in outfield assists with like 23, 24, something like that. But he didn't have a very good arm. Teams continually ran on him, and a lot of the times he was able to get a runner thrown out. This one to left, and Rosario makes the catch, and a couple of quick outs here in the third. That'll bring up Adam Jones. Monday, July 30th, it's St. Benedict St. John's night at Target Field. A limited number of CSB SJU theme night ticket packages are available that include a game ticket and white and red Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/CSBSJU or call 800-33-TWINS. 2 down in the third, and now Jones fouled out to Garver after a long at bat in the first inning. And Rosario's got to tie his shoe again. Jones saying, "You okay out there? Thumbs up." And Rosario gives up the thumbs up sign back at him. Up and in, ball 1. Odorizzi back into a much better pitch count. Might be able to get through this inning with less than 50 pitches thrown. Off speed pitch and a foul back. A lot to play for yet this year for the Twins, but looking ahead to next year, Odorizzi figures to be a part of the mix with the Twins, just under contract for this year, but he's not going to be a free agent for another year. Check swing. Did he go? Nope, says Jerry Lane. Looked like in the Twins dugout that he might have gone. From the end of the dugout, let's see. That's a check, isn't it?
Yes.
2-1. On the ground and fair down the line. Another 2-out hit for the Orioles. Jones will round first. Rosario will come up firing, and here's the throw off line. It's a double with 2 gone in the third.
Change up right there, just left up, and Jones took advantage of it and lined it right down that left field line.
And that'll bring up Machado, who already has a hit today and gets a lot of them when he comes to Minnesota typically.
Well, he's enjoyed hitting here at Target Field against our pitching staff.
And he's continued to have a good series against the Twins here this weekend. And daily his name has been brought up nationally in trade rumors. The Orioles are expected to trade Machado. Some speculation in the Baltimore Sun today as to what might happen if, as is anticipated, Machado's voted in as the starting shortstop for the American League in the All-Star game. And the All-Star game being played about 45 minutes from Baltimore. If Machado were to be traded to a National League team, what would you do?
Good question.
He'd become property of, say, the Brewers or somebody like that, a National League team. And if he's playing in the All-Star game at all, he should represent the league that he's currently employed by. And again, that's only a factor if the Orioles pull the trigger on a trade before the All-Star game.
Well, Rizzi's going to pitch to him very carefully here.
First base is open, 2 down, and Trumbo's on deck. Slow breaking ball beaten into the ground. Escobar sets and fires. Inning over. The double does no damage. Still no score. Run. And Jake Cave has had himself a really good series. Grew up an Oriole fan, and he has really taken center stage.
Yeah, not only offensively but defensively for Jake Cave here in the first ball game. He made a great leaping catch, and then in game 2, first pitch of the ball game, Jake went back and robbed Beckham of a home run, that off of Lance Lynn. And then last night's ball game, a nice diving catch to the deepest part of the field here at Target Field.
Cave takes a strike. Yeah, Thursday night the catch came in the 4th inning, and as you said, the first pitch of the ball game on Friday night, and then in the 3rd inning yesterday he made a great catch. He hadn't done anything yet today. 1-1.
Well, what we'll take is him get on base and score a run. That's what we would take.
Well, he's done a decent job of that too. Now on the outside corner. 17 strikeouts and 56 at bats, only 3 walks, one of those intentional. But 7 extra base hits and 56 at bats. And 8 runs batted in. And he took one for strike 3.
Yeah, Cave thought it was high right there, but Jordan Baker, the home plate umpire, said no. So strikeout number 4. So the big slow curveballs and then the fastball up. And I think Cobb got a gift right here.
Yeah,
above the box.
Inches high. 1 out, and now Polanco struck out on a check swing, leading off the first inning. Down and in, ball 1. Just 21 or now 22 at bats, but kind of like the looks of Polanco in the leadoff spot. That's dribbled up the line. It'll spin foul. It's a switch hitter. So far he doesn't have a hit right-handed, but he's 6 for 8 from the left side of the plate. He can run a little bit. Handler of the bat. Kind of a more conventional leadoff type hitter with some speed. Joe Mauer has taken over the leadoff spot, but Paul Molitor said, looking ahead to the week ahead, 8 games counting today, he wasn't going to play in all 8 anyway, so give him today off, or at least starting assignment off. 1-1. One and two.
One thing you don't see anymore in baseball is that leadoff hitter that, you know, can bunt and steal bases. You know, a lot of clubs will use a power hitter now in the leadoff spot. And Joe Mauer basically moved to the leadoff spot because he's a guy that'll make that pitcher throw to start the ballgame 7 or 8, 9 pitches.
This one will stay in the grass right off the end of the bat, and it might still be spinning even though it stopped moving forward. Polanco with an infield hit. And Tim Beckham says we can't use that ball anymore.
You want to bet?
They won't use that ball anymore.
I want that ball back right there. I'm sure that ball's got a little bit of cut in it. Gary Gaetti once threw me a ball that was like that, and I got to throw it one time and a hitter fouled it off. I was so upset. I wanted to be like at a little league game. You throw that ball back, I'll get you a snow cone.
Here's Rosario. I remember playing town team ball, and you had just, you know, like 4 baseballs to use, right?
Yeah.
And I remember late in the ball game throwing one that was literally lopsided.
Because of some of your pitches prior?
I had been pitching all afternoon long, but it was like, this isn't even round anymore. 2-0. Rosario's seen the batting average trickle down. See if he can have a good final week before what is assumed to be his first All-Star berth.
Keep an eye on Polanco too, see if he can get a good jump off of Cobb.
And now outside 3-0 with Dozier on deck.
You see Cobb utilizing that slide step to try to keep that fast runner Polanco at first, but I think Polanco's just going to, and Rosario, I was going to say take a pitch, but I don't think Eddie Rosario, that's in his vocabulary.
A high fly to center field. Going back is Jones. And on the track makes the catch 400 feet from home plate. 2 down.
He put a good swing on it, just got underneath it for the deep fly ball out.
Tuesday night, the middle game of the Royals series, and it'll be on FS1. Coverage begins at 7 o'clock, or you can stream it live on the Fox Sports app. The Royals having a tough season as well.
Yeah, they have only 25 wins. They've won, I believe they've lost, what now, 8 in a row?
Yep. Here's Dozier. Outside, ball 1.
Twins have not run a lot this year. 29 stolen bases in 41 attempts. Polanco has 1 stolen base in his only attempt.
At the knees, a strike. 1-1.
There's been 3 stolen bases against Cobb on the mound this year in his first 15 starts. 3 also have been caught. But over his career, there's been 72 stolen bases and only 16 have been caught.
Strike on the outside corner. With 2 strikes, we'll see if Polanco takes off here. Nope. Dozier lifts it high to right center field. Drifting back near the track is Valencia, still on the outfield grass. The inning ends. On to the 4th, still no score.
Forces Appreciation Day here at the ballpark. And just a few minutes ago, a couple of youngsters had a huge surprise being reunited with their dad. It doesn't get any better than that. And that was just one of 2 military reunions here at the ballpark before the game. Another young fan reunited with his mom as well. There's a lot of exciting things going on at the ballpark, including some donated tickets right behind home plate in the Champions Club for some wounded service members and their families to enjoy the ball game up close and personal today, guys.
Well, thank you, Audra. And you see that, and you are reminded, if you need to be reminded, that the service men and women are only part of the sacrifices that families make, the left behind family members, children who are left without their fathers or mothers for extended tours of duty. We thank them for their sacrifice too.
We sure do.
Hooked down the line.
Yeah, actually, Kent Herbeck brought in the parents of the young lady that was hugging her son on the field. She's stationed in Duluth, and that's where the family's from. And the little boy had not seen his mother for a while, so it was kind of cool. That brought chills to me when I saw it.
2 strikes to Trumbo, leading off the Baltimore 4th. Man, he got him on strikes.
A good slider down and away. Strikeout number 3 for Odorizzi,
who has been much more economical with his pitches since the first inning. 1 down. He's got 10 outs now and 51 pitches.
Talk about angles right there. You see the angle right there. Good pitch down and away. Little cutter, had a little cut on it, maybe a slider.
And now Chris Davis was called out on strikes his first time up in a key spot in the first inning. The Orioles had a couple of 2-out singles. This ball hit well to left field. So strong, he's sending Rosario back to the track, and out number 2. Sometimes when you see a ball hit like that, you don't think it's going to carry, but then you realize who hit it and how strong he is. That's what happened yesterday when he hit that home run to center field. The ball just kept on going.
Right, now see in Baltimore, that ball's probably out of the ball.
You're right. 2 down, and now Scope. Scope with a single his first time up. Ball 1. It is July 8th, and Scope, who has missed some time, only has 23 runs batted in. He had 25 runs batted in June last year alone, and ended up going to the All-Star game. 1-1.
He drove in 105 runs last year. Hit 32 home runs, hit 293, so they're expecting big things out of Jonathan Scope, but not yet.
Well, even last year, with the presumption that Machado was going to be dealt elsewhere or would sign elsewhere after this season, because of what Scope was doing, the feeling of Baltimore was, well, at least we've got a middle infielder to build around if we lose Machado. Towards short, backhanded by Adrians, and he made that play to end the ball game last night, and a nice play there to wrap up a 1-2-3-4. the #1 selling brand in the Twin Cities. By Grant Casino, the best stories start here. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Beautiful summer day at this beautiful ballpark. And the Twins looking to break out on top here in the bottom of the 4th. Escobar, Morrison, and Grossman. Escobar struck out swinging his first time up. And just to wrap things up in the top of this inning, of course, was Jorge Polanco who made the play in the hole to end the inning. Polanco at short, Escobar at third. And now ball 2.
Cobb just over 50 pitches, 51, 34 strikes.
Foul back. It is odd that in this 58th year of Twins baseball, Twins have never swept the Orioles in a 4-game series here. They're, you know, how many 4-game series would they have played here? Maybe 100 of them over the years, 58 years, with double headers and all that. You know, back in the day when games were rained out regularly or snowed out at Met Stadium. 2-2. Twins swept the Orioles in a 4-gamer 3 years ago at Camden Yards. Tapped up the line, foul.
Well, you know, back in the 70s, yeah, we would see the Orioles 3 times, and we would go there 3 times.
Right,
so,
right.
you know, a lot of them were 3-game series. Not too often you would play a 4-game series. You know, now you have a 2-game series against certain ball clubs.
Escobar strikes out for the first out of the 4th inning.
And strikeout number 5 for Alex Cobb, getting Escobar for the 2nd time. Tightening up on that breaking ball. Might have been the changeup right there. Take a look at it. Well, just on the other side of the plate.
Morrison popped up to scope in medium deep right field his first time up. Pitches up, ball 1. Dribbled toward the mound. Cobb has time to fire and does on target to Davis, 2 away. Bring up Grossman. Partial season ticket packages are now available in the Delta Sky 360 Club. You can become a Twins season ticket holder today. Become part of the Sweet Spot program. Learn more at twinsbaseball.com or call 800-33-TWINS. Robbie Grossman delivered a 2-out single in the 2nd. Fouled away. Grossman's batting average climbing slowly but steadily. Last year he hit 246. It appears headed to that point here eventually after a slow start. And swinging over the top, it's 0-2.
Cobb changing speeds well so far. First 3+ innings.
On the ground, Machado cuts in front of Scope to make the play. 3 up, 3 down for the Twins in the 4th. fans of the game, honored members of the military in attendance here today. Twins focusing on women in the military and their sacrifice. And we have a scoreless duel here as we go now to the top of the 5th inning, bottom third of the Oriole lineup, starting with Danny Valencia, who bounced into a double play his first time up.
I remember Odorizzi in his major league debut, opening day starter for the Twins, 6 shutout innings against the Orioles, gave up only 2 hits. And so far 4 shutout innings for Odorizzi here this afternoon.
Started the inning with 56 pitches, but almost half of those in the first inning. And now strike one to Valencia, then Mancini and Joseph. Fouled back, got a pitch up. That's the pitch that he used with such great success in Baltimore to right-handed batters. A high fastball that seemed to have a little life to it at the end, and a lot of swings and misses. Repeated swings and misses from veteran right-handed batters like Adam Jones, Machado. 2 strikes. And a breaking ball poked foul.
He struck out 7 in that 6 shutout inning performance.
The Orioles head home after this game to play out the last week of the season at home before the All-Star break. Twins have opened 2 of the last 3 seasons in Baltimore, but next year the tentative schedule has the Twins opening at home in late March, because the Twins have to get in and out of town, play a series before the Final Four comes to the Twin Cities. So enjoy the 90-degree warmth today, because next year when the season opens up, probably won't be anywhere close to 90. Fly ball center field. Cave hustling in. And it's Kepler making the catch, 1 away.
Yeah, the wind blowing in from right field really pushed that back toward the infield.
And let's go to Audra Martin.
Guys, Nationals fans saw a historic comeback on Thursday, and last night's showstopper brought more history. Mark Reynolds started his day with a 2-run home run, followed by an RBI double and a 2-run single. But that was not all. He then went on to add another 3-run home run in the 6th inning before he ended his night with another 2-run single. So that is a total of 10 RBI on the day. He is the 15th player in history to reach that mark in a game. The Nats crushed the Marlins 18-4.
Wow, that's quite a night right there.
Yes, 10 runs batted in. The Twins record, by the way, is 8. Randy Bush drove in 8 against the Rangers, and then prior to that, Glenn Adams scored 8 in that infamous game at Met Stadium when Rod Carew pushed his batting average over 400. Glenn Adams drove in 8 runs that day against the White Sox. 2-0 to Mancini. And it's kind of odd that, you know, you think of that record of being 8 and that Harmon's name isn't on that list. Always such a great RBI producer and home run hitter. Glenn Adams and Randy Bush. There's a strike, and it's 3-1. Odorizzi's pitched to the brink of a walk, but he's yet to walk anyone. He's had a number of 3-ball counts. See if he can come all the way back and get Mancini with Joseph on deck. There's the high fastball and a swing and a miss. Mancini struck out in the 2nd.
And a fastball a little bit above the letters.
Nowhere near Garver's target, but it was effective nonetheless. Now a bouncer to 3rd. Backhanded by Escobar. Over to Morrison. 2 down. And that'll bring up Caleb Joseph.
6 straight retired by Odorizzi.
Joseph fouled out to Morrison his first time up. Swing and a miss. When a team is forced to rebuild, and clearly the Orioles are going to have to go through that process, it's a real good place to start the rebuild when you find a good catcher. I don't know where you go to find them now. The state, and we talk about the state of pitching in the game today, but the state of catching is in even worse shape, I think, than the state of pitching.
Orioles have a young catcher. We saw him only not many at bats. Chase Cisco.
Right. Well, he started yesterday. Yeah.
Very good minor league numbers, but again, up here, it's a little different ballgame. He is struggling a little bit this year. Up and down a couple times, trying to find his swing. Cisco hitting at just 197, so both the catchers for Buck Sherwalter hitting under 200.
2 strikes to Joseph. And Morrison will watch it drift back into the seats.
Well, I think in the game, Dick, you know, you look at guys. I'm going to take Drew Butera, for example. You know, like his dad, Sal, you can be around the game a long time if you can handle a pitching staff and maybe hit around 200.
Chris Jimenez is out there. He was designated for assignment by the Cubs, and I would venture to say somebody will pick him up. 0-2. And there is strike 3. Another good inning for Odorizzi as he set down 7 men in a row. Important to hydrate on a hot summer day. Sanford Health injury report. Royals come to town for a 3-game series starting tomorrow. There's a chance, I suppose, that Ian Kennedy might start Tuesday's game. The Royals have listed that as to be announced. Sanford Health injury report. They put Jason Hamill on the disabled list yesterday, and instead of Hamill pitching on Wednesday, it'll be Birch Smith who will start. Max Kepler to lead off the bottom of the 5th. Just 7 hits in the game and no runs. Checked his swing and ball 1.
Yeah, both starters have pitched well. Odorizzi, 5 shutout innings. He's allowed 4 hits and 3 hits for Cobb. 2 of those infield hits.
And a strike at the knees. Kepler, Garver, and Cave 7, 8, and 9 hitting for the Twins in the 5th. Swing and a tapper, foul, 1-2. Kepler with a line drive single to right his first time up. Two and two. Kepler, and I think these numbers will get better. 51 strikeouts, 36 walks. He's not too far from getting a walk for every strikeout. And now it's 3 and 2.
What a good take right there on that ball, down and in.
Just one of the walks intentional.
Saw Escobar a couple innings ago, or excuse me, last inning, swing at that pitch to strike out. Kepler held up.
Full count to the leadoff man in the Twins' fifth. Pulled foul. You know, Kepler with a strikeout about once every 6 at bats, and in this day and age, that's pretty good. That's above average. Major League Baseball right now is striking out 25% of the time. And that's a good walk taken by Kepler. For Kepler, his 37th walk taken this year.
And the first walk by Cobb, and the first walk of the ball game.
Fell behind, but ends up at first base with a free pass. You can watch every out-of-market regular season game live or on demand at home, in the office, or on the go with MLB.tv. Your subscription includes MLB At Bat Premium, allowing you to watch live baseball on your favorite supported devices. Blackout, other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv for details. Here is Garver, lined out sharply to Machado with 2 on and 2 out in the second inning. First 2 batters were retired. Grossman and Kepler singled. Garver had a good at bat and hit a line drive that was snagged by Machado. Didn't mean to, and a dribbler foul. The Twins catching situation, since we were talking about that in the last half inning. Garver's got a great opportunity ahead of him. Jason Castro has 1 year left on his contract, but Castro next year will be coming back from knee surgery. Garver had a great year last year at AAA, minor league player of the year. Pops straight up and just over our heads. 0-2.
I mentioned his last at bat, good minor league numbers in his minor league career. 5 minor league seasons with the Twins, a .271 hitter. That's pretty good as a catcher. Last year, at .291 in AAA before coming up.
Fouled back. And because, you know, as you said, he's been around a while. He's a college player coming out of New Mexico. I mean, he's got to make the most of it now. At age 27, he needs to develop into an everyday catcher if it's going to happen for him. 0-2. Nice stop by the catcher Joseph.
I know with the current draft that was just a couple 2-3 weeks ago, I think the Twins drafted 5 catchers, I believe.
Yeah. There's no question for youngsters that catching is the, I won't say the easiest path to the big leagues, because you get beaten up a lot, but it is the position that is in most demand at this level. 1-2.
Yeah, my grandson Dylan, my son Todd's son, catches down in Texas, but he also plays other positions because they don't want him to get hurt. Switch hitter. He's on a very good travel team. He's playing well.
Garver having another long battle with Cobb. 2-2. Cobb got ahead of Kepler but lost him to a walk.
Yeah, Cobb's averaging, he's topping out about 93 miles an hour, but he's mixing in that breaking ball, changing speeds, adding the changeup.
Now inside 3-2 to Garver. Jeff Smith will whisper something to Max Kepler as they both look across to Gene Glenn. Cave on deck.
See if Twins get something going right here. See if Kepler takes off here.
Garver's been adept at pushing base hits through the right side of the infield.
Kind of like what Bobby Wilson did in last night's ball game.
It helped in that case that the Twins sent the runner because the second baseman's scope was running toward the second base bag, and that made an already big hole even bigger. So we'll see if they send Kepler here. There he goes. And the pitch fouled back just beneath us.
A young lady has a baseball. She wants to give it away and nobody wants it.
I'll take it.
There you go. She gave it to a young girl.
Well, Garver with another long battle, trying to help the Twins build an inning here in the fifth. Kepler goes, and the pitch hammered to left, deep down the line, and gone. A two-run blast for Mitch Garver. Another great at bat for Garver, and he put the Twins up 2-0.
It looked like Cobb tried to sneak a fastball inside, and Garver opened up quickly, his fourth home run of the year. Twins take a 2-0 lead. Boy, Mitch opening up, and it's just a matter of, is this going to stay fair? And wrapped right around that foul pole in fair territory.
Exit velocity 106. Here's Cave, called out on strikes his first time up, and now a pitch in the dirt, ball one.
15th home run of the season in his 16th start that Cobb has allowed.
The two great plate appearances. Kepler really had to work for that walk, and there he was at first. Cobb got ahead of Garver 1-2, ended up filling the count, and then the two-run home run. And now Cave tried to follow up with a home run of his own. StatCast powered by AWS, measured at 419 feet. One and one to Jake Cave. Off the end of the bat to Machado. One away. Jorge Polanco will bat, but first we'll hear from Andermart.
Guys, Jorge Polanco's biggest concern after rejoining the team was simply regaining the trust of his teammates. And when I was talking to him earlier this week, I asked him about how things were going. He said everyone has been incredibly supportive, but there's one guy who really had an impact, and that was Fernando Rodney. He actually pulled him aside, and the two had a really good long conversation. And Rodney just took the time to remind him to stay focused, stay confident in himself, but most importantly, to make sure that he knew that everybody has his back. And Jorge says for a veteran guy like that who's incredibly respected, it meant a lot to him and immediately took the pressure off. Guys.
Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, you know, Fernando Rodney from the Dominican Republic, as Polanco is, so very, very nice.
They got a different dynamic upcoming in Seattle, where one of the established veterans has got to come back from the PED suspension in Robinson Cano. And I would imagine whatever conversations Cano has with his teammates, he essentially called a press conference yesterday and addressed it with the media. Two down. That'll be a completely different circumstance there when one of the veterans, or a perennial all-star, got pinched for a PED violation.
Well, you all make mistakes, and you know he'll be accepted, I'm sure. He'll be happy to have his at-bats in the lineup.
What do you do with D. Gordon? He's played Gold Glove caliber defense after being moved into second base. Here's Rosario.
It's a nice problem to have.
But, all right, if you disrupt that, if you put Gordon back out in center field, let Cano play, and then looks like you're going to the playoffs, then you have to make that adjustment backward again and bring Gordon back into the infield. One and one to Rosario. Got green lighted on a 3-0 pitch in the third and hit a deep fly to center. Mariners 3.5 games behind the Astros, 6.5 games ahead of the A's. And now 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2-2. Hoping to put together a winning July. They've not had a winning month yet. Full month. And counting the couple of games in March, they were 9-15 in April, 13-15 in May, 13-14 in June. Started July by losing their first 4 games, but now have won 3 straight. 2-2 to Rosario. To center. And hit almost right at Adam Jones. Makes the catch. The inning ends. But Kepler started the inning with a walk, and Garver hit a 2-run home run, and the Twins are in front.
Hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Well, a good 5th inning for the Twins. Mitch Garver's 2-run home run, putting the Twins up 2-0. And Jake Odorizzi's done a nice job after throwing a lot of pitches in the first inning. He's retired 7 men in a row and starts the 6th inning with just 72 pitches thrown. Check swing and a strike. Batter is Tim Beckham.
And 3rd time through the lineup for Odorizzi. No walks, 4 strikeouts.
Missing the outside corner, 1-1. 75th pitch coming up. Look at that. 5 innings, 4 hits, and none since the 3rd inning. That's down the right field line and will reach the seats. 1-2. In position to perhaps get some outs in the 7th inning here.
Yeah, he has not done that yet this year. 5 of his 18 starts, he's pitched at least 6 innings. And this being the 6th inning, hopefully get through this quickly and maybe go out there for the 7th.
1-2 to Beckham, then Jones and Machado. And another foul. Another 1-2 pitch. Tapper foul. Beckham with a bouncer to 3rd. Actually, it was a line drive in and out of the glove of Escobar for the first out of the ball game. And he hit a line drive to Rosario. He's hit the ball hard twice against Odorizzi.
These are the at-bats you don't want late in a ball game. Guy keeps fouling off pitches. 6 pitches already in this at-bat to Beckham.
One and 2 to Beckham. Now 2-2.
So far this outing a lot like the one he had against the Orioles in Baltimore, and also the one he had against the White Sox a couple starts ago, where he pitched 6 shutout innings, but he threw 112 pitches. This will be pitch number 80.
And another foul.
.24 in the first inning, and then he settled down nicely. 11-13, 8-16. So far 8 here.
Took him only 8 pitches to get through the 4th inning, and he can't even get out of the first at bat with 8 pitches of the 6th inning. Back to Odorizzi.
Yeah, why didn't you do that 5 pitches ago?
1 down. And that'll bring up Jones. Catch the FIFA World Cup semifinals on Fox. Pogba and teen sensation Mbappe lead France against Lukaku and Belgium. Coverage begins Tuesday at 1 p.m. Eastern, noon Central, 10 a.m. Pacific on Fox, or stream it live on the Fox Sports app.
I'm rooting for Belgium there.
Because?
Because it's very close to Holland, where I was born.
Okay.
And my assistant pitching coach, Steve Jansen, who's in the Cub organization now as a minor league pitching coach, is from Belgium.
Who is he to you again?
He's my assistant pitching coach for the WBC.
Oh, well, okay.
Yep.
And Jones asked for the appeal and wasn't happy with the answer. 0-2. That was very similar to the check swing he had earlier in the ball game. This time he got called for a strike. 0-2. One and 2. Jones fouled out to Garver in the first, and then whistled a double past the third base bag into the left field corner.
I saw Jones smiling at the first base umpire after that slider down and away that he took Jerry Lane, the crew chief, down at first.
2-2. So much focus on Machado, but this guy might not be back with the Orioles next year either. He's really been a fixture for them in center field.
He brings a lot of personality to the ballpark.
Some people think that his days in center field are numbered or should be numbered, and maybe he ought to transition to a corner outfield spot. It seems to happen to the best of them. McCutchen, Hunter, Puckett.
I was going to say Torrey Hunter went through that.
2-2.
Well, until they find somebody else that can play as good, if not better, than Adam Jones, he will stay in center.
Three and two. The Orioles have a lot of decisions to make this month. Some of them will be made then in the offseason. Buck Showalter in the last year of his deal. Dan Duquette, the general manager, in the last year of his deal. Full count to Jones with one gone in the sixth. Bouncer right side. Dozier covers it. Morris into the bag. 2 down. A lot of teams would love to have Manny Machado even as a rental. And I don't know, of course, but I can see him going to the Brewers. They've sent Orlando Arcia to the minor leagues twice because he hasn't hit. And if the Orioles end up trading Machado, they're going to need a shortstop next year. And it might be that if the Brewers would be willing to give up Arcia, that might be a deal the Orioles would be interested in. Strike one on a check swing.
Again, it'll be interesting how many moves there will be, how many players are going to be going from one club to another.
There appear to be more sellers than buyers. Chasing that high fastball. 0-2. Kansas City's in a bit of a predicament. They've got some players they'd like to unload. Stockus. Whit Merrifield's name has been brought up, but where? You know, in the American League alone, there are 4 teams that look like they're going to win 100 games. So if you look at it, those 4 teams probably don't have a whole lot of pressing needs, or else they wouldn't be on the verge of winning 100 ball games. 2 strikes to Machado.
Well, again, in today's game, what do you try to improve on? Bullpen help. Yeah, Machado, he's going to help somebody wherever, if he goes. I think we're going to see more of the relievers being moved than maybe everyday players.
Or starting pitchers. I don't think that there's a Justin Verlander out there who was a difference maker last year for Houston. 1-2. Two strikes. The 2 strikes seem to come easy, but it's that third one. Machado's going to run for second. Here's Cave's throw, and it's offline. It's a 2-out double.
Good hustle right there by Machado, getting to second base.
It just doesn't seem to want to overdo anything with 2 strikes. Just make solid contact, and he did there again.
Oh, this ball left up a little bit. Take a look at the location. Breaking ball. And Machado, even though it's off the end of the bat, right back up the middle.
He's only struck out 50 times in close to 350 at bats. So he's at second with 2 down.
19th double for Machado.
Trumbo the batter. And now you look up and Odorizzi's pitch count is fast approaching 100 pitches again. Twins have gotten at least 6 innings from their starters throughout this series. Backhanded by Garver, ball 1.
Odorizzi's able to get out of this inning and have a quality start. Whether he goes out for the 7th, we'll see. This will be pitch number 95. It'll be the first time all season long that the 5 starters have had consecutive quality starts. Started with Barrios in Milwaukee, Slagers, then Lynn, and then Gibson.
And we should mention the Twins have named Slagers the starter Tuesday against Kansas City. I don't know that that was ever formally announced, but he is going to start on Tuesday. 2-0 now to Mark Trumbo. Fouled back. What do you start with? 75 pitches this inning?
72.
Yeah. And now Presley's warming up in the event he struggles to finish the 6th.
Yeah, Beckham had a long at bat. Jones had a long at bat. He struck out Trumbo in his last at bat on a good slider down and away. He left that breaking ball up. Trumbo's fouled off.
2-1 to Trumbo. 3-1 Davis on deck. Odorizzi in his 5 innings in his last start threw 109 pitches. Start before that 6 innings and he threw 112.
Shaking off Garver.
And they'll use a trip to the mound here. First one.
See Odorizzi doing all the talking right there. Garver kind of agreed. We'll see what they agree upon. Odorizzi making his 145th major league start. He has 43 wins, 42 losses, ERA under 4. He's never had a complete game, unless they allow him to throw 200 pitches. He may one day.
3-1. Breaking ball missed, and that fills first base. I don't know how you take that, but he did.
I don't think he wanted to make a mistake right there with first base open, and Trumbo, as you mentioned, if he makes contact, he can hit a long way. Garvin Alston, the pitching coach, out to talk to Odorizzi. A 3-1 curveball that just down and away. So first walk for Odorizzi.
And the 2-out double, now the follow-up walk, and Davis will come up with 2 men aboard. Davis called out on strikes in the first, hit a fly ball to left in the 4th. First trip to the mound by the pitching coach. Second trip this inning by Garver. Orioles out hitting the Twins 5-4, but the Twins got a walk and a home run to score 2 runs. Now a double and a walk have set the Orioles up here in the 6th. Strike over the inside corner. That was the pitch that struck him out looking in the first. A fastball in the inside corner.
See if they go back inside again. Davis pretty close to the plate. Garver sitting inside.
Not gonna miss.
Yeah, Garver wanted it in, but Odorizzi trying to see what's left in the tank right there. 2 good fastballs. His 100th pitch.
Up and out and over the plate. 0-2 to Chris Davis. Got him with another fastball down the middle. And the Orioles leave 2 in the 6th.
That's a good trip to the mound by the pitching coach. straight fastballs the first 3 pitches right at Davis. All of them. That ball's probably Davis would like to have that back, but 3 straight fastballs. Mancini, he threw him 3 straight fastballs in 1 at bat. But you know, Jake is a guy that mixes in all his pitches, and he went right after him. So good line for Odorizzi.
And he's probably done with the pitch count now over 100. 1-0 to Dozier. Humorous moment at the plate there. I'm not sure what that's all about. And now outside 2-0. Cobb's been good. He had the misfortune of losing Kepler to a walk after getting ahead of him, and then faced a full count to Garver, who hammered the home run just inside the foul pole. There's one whack to left, deep to left, and off the wall, fielded nicely by Mancini. And now the throw to second is not in time. Dozier with a double. A bullet off the wall for a leadoff double in the 6th.
Yeah, we saw Rosario play almost the same carom the other night here. And Mancini, realizing that that ball's over his head, he has to play the carom and barehands it as Rosario did. But right here, that ball left up at 93 miles an hour. Brian gave it a ride. Mancini barehanding it, spins, and to throw a little bit on the outfield side, and Dozier able to sneak in at second base with a double. His first hit, his 18th double. And keep his shoes on the bag.
Yeah, you can't use the pop-up slide anymore, because if you pop up and off, you're out. Down and into Escobar. He struck out swinging twice.
Let's see if Escobar can advance Dozier right here. The Twins have done a good job in this homestand advancing runners.
Might be the difference in the series, to be honest with you. The games that have been close, the Twins have gotten some 2-out hits and moved runners along when the Orioles haven't. To the left field corner. It's going to be a long run for Mancini, and Dozier setting up for a tag, but the ball drifts out of play. It's fun to watch a team play well, and Twins fans haven't seen their team play well as much as they should have. But one of the reasons baseball's fun to watch when your team is winning, you got a runner at second base, and Dozier and the hitter conspire to figure out how they're going to get him to third base. It's not just the batter, it's the runner being alert. There's a drive to right. Dozier will go to third and then home. Escobar may have hit the car in right field. A 2-run blast, and it's 4-0.
Another good crowd here this afternoon at Target Field, and most of them on their feet if you're not an Orioles fan, as Escobar hits his 14th home run of the year. Another 2-run home run by the Twins here this afternoon puts them up 4-0.
I think he hit the car. And it landed in front. Maybe on the bounce it hit the white sedan out there. 4-0 Twins, and now Morrison. And Morrison will get a bunt single.
Why not?
He's threatened to do it going back to spring training. And he finally executes and gets a base hit.
Why not? If they put the shifts on, the shifts are going to continue in baseball until guys that like Morrison or anybody do this.
Well, we've got an issue here with the trainer coming out. And I don't know whether the issue involves Cobb or not. Buck Showalter out as well, and they're going to talk with Cobb about something that might have happened after the delivery of the pitch. They're looking at his pitching hand, I believe. I don't know whether it would be a blister issue or what. And he's going to come out. Paul Fry is going to get as many warm-up tosses as he needs, and we believe, based on what we saw, that Cobb is is going to leave the game with a blister issue. Fry can threatening, and for some medical reason Alex Cobb has been taken out of the ball game. They're looking at his pitching hand, specifically the fingers, so the presumption is that
well, it looked like the trainer right there had maybe a gauze or something, that maybe there is a little blood blister that formed. Have to wait and see if we get a report.
Fry will come in. He's had a good start to his season. Good outing here the other night.
Yeah, Fry making his second appearance here on Friday night. He worked 2 1/3 innings. He struck out 4. This is only his 4th major league appearance since being called up on the 29th of June.
Because of the injury situation, he'll get as much time as he needs. A hot, humid afternoon, that might not take too long. He threw some tosses in the bullpen. Now it appears he's ready to go.
Yeah, Fry just 25 years old. Originally signed by Seattle, traded over to the Orioles back in April of 2017 in his second season in the Oriole organization.
This is minutia, and it doesn't matter, but after Fry was done with his warm-up tosses, Machado came into the mound, talked with Fry, and got some rosin. No mound visit was charged, and now on the first pitch, Grossman lines a single to left, and Morrison checks in at second.
And Grossman picks up his second hit. This is a right-handed hitter. Jumped on that first pitch from Fry. Twins putting on their hitting shoes here in the 6th inning.
Double home run, single, and now Kepler, who drew a very important walk his last time up. Kepler singled in the 2nd. Coaxed a leadoff walk and scored on the Garver home run. That coming in the 5th inning. Strike 1.
And that's what we saw here the other night from Fry. Good fastball, that big sweeping breaking ball. He's done very well against lefties with a .274 batting average.
Missing down and in. Kepler has struggled through the first 3 months of the year, showing some signs of breaking out of it. But again, it's not a swing and miss situation like it was with Sano or Buxton. He's put the ball in play. And gets another base hit going to left field. Morrison will be held at third. The Twins keep hitting with the 6th inning starting with 5 straight hits.
Good at bat by Kepler. Fastball away, just went with it. Took it sharply into left field. And Mitch Garver is the one that got the Twins rolling last inning with a big 2-run home run after Kepler's walk. On a fastball in. Ball just around that foul pole for that 2-run home run, his 4th home run of the year.
Back to what Auger was saying regarding Fernando Rodney. Twins would prefer to not use him today. Paul Molitor held out the possibility of using him on a 4th straight day, but in a situation like this, if you can break the game open, you might be able to give him a day off. Whether they use him or not, I think it's safe to say that in advance of the Kansas City series, he would benefit from getting today off. So the Twins need to get something out of this year.
The Orioles defense playing back for the double play.
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
Fry's been able to pick up some strikeouts already. 3 appearances, he has 6 strikeouts. Yet to walk a batter. In 4 1/3 innings coming into this outing. I think that breaking ball has been his strikeout pitch.
Grounder to short. And now they will come home, and it's a low throw. He's safe because he pulled his foot off the base.
Joseph unable to keep that right foot on the plate.
Machado made what would have been the right choice, but he one-hopped the catcher, and in coming out to catch the hop, Joseph's foot came off the plate.
Yeah, Machado got here. He says, okay, I'm going to throw it home. Well, he threw him a sinker. And that ball lands in front, and you can see Joseph had to come off that plate, and Morrison scores the 3rd run of the inning. That's a good call and a good look at home plate umpire Jordan Baker watching that.
And now Cave with the bases loaded. Still nobody out.
Should be a fielder's choice and an RBI for Garver, his 3rd of the ball game.
Cave takes strike 1. 0 for 2 today. Called out on strikes in the 3rd. A pitch that looked high, and then he had a ground ball to short. That's to short left. Mancini coming in. He's got to play it on a hop, and there's no place to get a force. So Cave drops a single in front of the left fielder. 4 runs are in, still nobody out.
And Cave picking up an RBI, his 9th of the year. On his first hit, inside out swing. Mancini comes charging in, has to play it on the short hop, and all runners advance.
Everybody to the mound, another mound visit. Pitching coach Roger McDowell making the trip. Now Polanco will hit with the bases loaded and nobody out, and 4 runs already in. I've been watching Machado, and of course it's easy to admire the base hits, but from a distance he just looks like he's still really engaged with this team, even though by all accounts he won't be with them much longer. You know, he's the one at short who's coming in trying to encourage pitchers, trying to encourage Fry there to, hey, you know, they're not hitting you hard, come on, let's fight through this. You like to see that. It's a lost season in a game that's quickly sliding away from the Orioles again, but he's still very much involved in things.
And that's what you have to be. That's what scouts look at too. Do you hang your head and not play the game? No, you play the game, no matter what the scoreboard says or your record.
1 strike to Polanco. Hack to the right side, and now Davis will get the out at first, and coming in from 3rd and scoring is Kepler on a fielder's choice.
He thought about coming home, but Kepler at 3rd base got a pretty good jump, and Davis, I believe, made the right choice.
RBI for Polanco.
Polanco gets his third run batted in.
Now 2 out there in scoring position for Rosario. Twins out hitting the Orioles now 10-5. Ryan Meisinger warming up. Orioles now bring the infield in. Down the middle of strike. Fouled away, 2 strikes.
Twins batting around this inning.
It's a year like I am. If you send 9 men to the plate, you have batted around.
It's batted around, yeah.
Some people argue that you have to send 10 men to the plate, that the leadoff guy has to hit a second time.
No, if I have to change my 6 and for the 7th inning into a 6, they batted around.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
On my scorecard.
Still 2 strikes to Rosario. It's been a good day for the Twins after being stifled for 4 innings. They got a couple in the 5th, and they have blown it open here in the 6th. Similar to what happened yesterday. They got 3 in the 5th, 2 in the 6th.
And that's what's happened to the Orioles. They just you know, they'll play well, and then all of a sudden these type of innings show up.
2 strikes to Rosario, and strike 3, 2 down.
Fry picking up his first strikeout.
And that'll bring up Dozier and bring out Buck Showalter, who's going to bring in Meisinger. Fry was able to get the Orioles to this point here, but he won't be able to finish the inning. Happy birthday to Grandpa Kurt. He just won $100 in scratch tickets for being our feature in today's Minnesota Lottery Winner Circle. If you're game for a little excitement, say I'm in. We'll take a break with another ball. The brooms up, hoping for a 4-game sweep. It would be the first Twins 4-game sweep of the Orioles here in Minnesota. Again, 3 years ago, they took all 4 in Baltimore. Brian Dozier with a 2-run home run earlier this inning, or a double rather, in front of Escobar's home run, and he'll hit for the 2nd time this inning against Ryan Meisinger, who's making his first appearance of this series.
Yeah, Meisinger's scouting report: fastball, mid-90s, tight slider, changeup. He, like Paul Fry, both called up in late June.
Ball 1. And now 2-0.
A couple breaking balls to fall behind. Meisinger, just 24 years old. Grew up in the Baltimore area. Signed by the Orioles in 2015.
3-0. Escobar on deck. And now a strike. Belial warming up in the Twins pen. A deep blast to left field. A double to lead off the inning, and now a 3-run home run.
No doubter right there in the second deck for Brian Dozier, his 13th home run of the year. And his second 3-run home run he has hit this year.
And 8 runs, 6th inning so far.
Well, that pitch at 93, but it stayed middle end, and Brian opened up quickly. And put the Twins up 10-0.
3 runs charged to Cobb, 4 runs charged to Fry. And now 1 run to Meisinger, and Escobar fouls it off a leg. Escobar hit a home run earlier this inning to make it 4-0.
When he was just trying to advance Dozier to third. The first runs in the big leagues that Paul Fry has given up.
Escobar still feeling the pain from that foul ball. Oakland beat Cleveland 6-0. This one driven down the line, but it will hook foul. Pitchers aren't perfect, but I don't know why anyone would ever pitch Escobar down and in.
Good point.
That was down and in, a ball. 1-2.
He definitely likes that ball down,
particularly
ankle
from
high.
this side of the plate.
12 of his 14 home runs hit as a left-handed hitter.
Foul ball. The only other time the Twins have scored 10 runs in a game this year, it came in the series finale a week ago today at Wrigley Field. Twins scored 10 but gave up 11. Fouled back. Twins have been at the plate for a long time and cementing the notion that Odorizzi's done for the day. You saw Belial loose in the bullpen. 2-2 to Escobar. Inside, now 3-2. Morrison hoping for another at bat this inning. Chip shot short left. Long run for Mancini, fighting the sun, and he took it in the mouth. That ends a good inning for the Twins. A 2-run home run, a 3-run home run, in all 8 runs scoring, and it's 10-0. fun in the middle inning.
We had a good pitching matchup between the two former teammates. Odorizzi, 6 shutout innings. Alex Cobb had worked 5 shutout innings up until Mitch Garver hit the 2-run home run, in the 5th inning. Twins took a 2-0 lead. Escobar with a 2-run home run. Now it's 4-0. But then all of a sudden, 6 hits later, the Twins opened up the game with a big 8-run 6th inning.
And Eduardo Escobar getting things started that half inning with a 2-run home run. 10-0, and I'll be curious how Paul Molitor and Garvin Alston manage this the rest of the way here. And if Belisle is effective in the 7th, and if he's given the 8th and is effective, we might see one of the rarities, a 3-inning save. It would be nice if Belisle could do that, if that's the plan, because it would have the same effect on the other relievers as having a complete game pitch today. They would get the day off.
Hey, you saw the numbers on Matt Belisle between the Indians and the Twins. As the Twins, he's making his 10th relief appearance.
A strike, now a ball. Astudillo in at second base for Dozier.
Matt worked here on Friday night, 1 shutout inning through 10 pitches in the 6-2 Twins win over the Orioles.
Popped up to the right field corner. Kepler is there. 1 away. Monday, July 9th. That's tomorrow. Pride Night at Target Field. A limited number of Pride theme night ticket packages available that include a game ticket and Rainbow Twins cap. You can learn more at twinsbaseball.com/pride or call 800-33-TWINS. 1 down, and Danny Valencia will bat. Valencia bounced into a double play in the 2nd, hit a fly ball to right in the 5th. Strike 1. Miguel Castro warming up. Breaking ball gets a swing and a miss.
Matt's appeared in a lot of big league games. 38 years old. First came up with the Cincinnati Reds back in 2003.
Tap foul. Mentioned the novelty of a 3-inning save. That was not a novelty at all back in the days of Goose Gossage,
right.
Bruce Sutter,
Ollie Fingers,
Al Worthington.
Ron Peronowski with the Twins when I first came up.
He had some 3-inning saves
yes,
in there?
he did. He and Stan Williams. Stanley Steamer.
On the ground to Polanco. 2 down.
Yeah, we only had maybe a 9-man pitching staff, if that, sometimes. Pitched every 4th day, so there'd be 4 or 5 guys down there. He had 2 guys really that were set up or that were closers, Williams and Peronowski. Then you had about 2 or 3 other guys like Tommy Hall, Dick Woodson, that were waiting for somebody to break down so they could go in the starting rotation.
Right. Well, 1965, that guy for the Twins was Jim Perry. He was kind of a long guy, made a few starts, as I recall. I'll look it up here. But, 5 years later, he was the American League Cy Young Award winner.
And 24 ball games in 1970. I got to watch them pitch. 24-12.
1965, Jim Perry made 19 starts, 17 relief appearances. He pitched a total of 167 in 2/3 innings. Outside now, 1-1. Mancini with a strikeout in the 2nd and a grounder to 3rd in the 5th.
Matt was a guy that's kind of looking for a job over the winter. He ended up signing a minor league contract with the Indians. Made the ball club out of spring training, and then back in early May they designated him for assignment.
Beaten into the ground. Another chance for Polanco.
And signed with the Twins on June 12th.
Quick 1-2-3-7 for Matt Belisle. It's Military Appreciation Day here at Target Field, so fittingly we'll bring you God Bless America.
Fans, please rise and welcome the Thomson Reuters Choir for the singing of God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans bright with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America, my home sweet home.
For the time now for the 7th inning stretch.
Is presented by Menards. Save big money on all your home improvement needs at Menards. It's been a good afternoon for Twins fans here. 10-0 the score. Bottom of the 7th coming up with the Twins hang on and win this game. Paul Molitor's record against the Orioles in his 4 years managing, 19-8. And a couple of years ago, the Twins beat the Orioles just once. Miguel Castro will come into the ball game to pitch to the Twins in the bottom of the 7th.
6'7" Miguel Castro worked in yesterday's ball game. 1 inning. He threw 25 pitches, only 11 for strikes. Control has been an issue for this hard-throwing right-hander in his 2nd season with the Orioles.
Right after Escobar homered last inning, Morgan laid down a beautiful bunt toward third base, and now a high fly to left. And fighting the sun again. Oh, that's a great catch by Mancini. He fought the sun for the last out of the 6th, and that one was hit right up into Old Saul. That's a heck of a catch. He didn't have to move far, but he really fought the sun.
You can see the high fly ball right there. You're hoping that maybe Jones would run over and take it, but Mancini fought it and stuck out his glove at the last second. Look at the sun beat against his glasses.
Another pop-up, and this time it'll be the catcher Joseph. A couple of quick outs here in the 7th. And before Kepler swings at the next pitch. Tiny Twins baseball camps are the perfect summer camp for kids ages 3 to 5. Campers will learn the basic fundamentals of baseball. Each camper will receive a Tiny Twins t-shirt and Twins tickets. You can learn more and register today at twinsbaseball.com/training. And Kepler takes down and in. 2 for 2 with a walk for Kepler, and the walk might have been the most important plate appearance he's had. He fell behind, ended up drawing a leadoff walk, and a handful of pitches later, Garver hit a long home run down the left field line, and the Twins were on their way. Game was scoreless at the time of Kepler's leadoff walk in the 5th. 2-1. Swing and miss. 2-2.
Nice easy motion, 97-mile-an-hour fastball from Castro.
Replay brought to you by Carrier. And now from short right field, a close play. Scope throws out Kepler, and the Twins are done in the 7th.
At 6:30 for the Twins and the Royals right here on Fox Sports North.
And it's 10-0. The Twins are 6 outs away from sweeping the Orioles in a 4-game series and getting this homestand off to a great start, evening the July record at 4-4. All of that, and of course it makes perfect sense. Taylor Rogers hasn't pitched since the 2nd of July, but I'm disappointed because I like those 3-inning saves.
Well, Matt Belisle did his job. He got quick 3 outs, but here the 8th inning belongs to Taylor Rogers, making his 37th relief appearance.
Might see Matt McGill pitch the 9th. He hasn't pitched since the 1st of July, a week ago today. First pitch fouled into the netting by the camera well. 1 strike.
All right.
And now a ball, 1-1. On the ground to Astudillo. 1 down.
This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Minnesota Twins. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Minnesota Twins, LLC.
And now Tim Beckham. If the Orioles lose this game, and boy, I hope they do, they'll be on a pace to finish the season 44 and 118. And then you wonder what this Oriole team will look like if they trade Machado, Britton, Brock, Jones, fly ball down the left field line. And a long run for Polanco, who makes the play. Good catch by the Twins shortstop, 2 away. Two down in the 8th.
Well, sometimes balls are hit in no man's land right there. Beckham hitting it down that left field line. It's Polanco in fair territory that makes this catch. I don't think Rosario been able to get to it, so Polanco runs a long way to get to second out. Chase
Down
Peterson
it is,
up.
Chase Peterson hitting in Jones' spot.
Peterson played in last night's ball game, got an RBI double in the 9th inning. 1 for 3 in a ball game with a walk.
2-0. To Hopper to Astudillo, and Rogers has a quick time of it in the 8th. And now they'll take a look at a new Baltimore pitcher. Brad Brock is into the ball game for the Orioles.
He's still there.
Well, Brock will come in for the 36th time this year. Brock's been really good in years past. You see his numbers higher than they've been in the past. Just a couple of home runs allowed, 17 walks. Most of the numbers still pretty strong.
Yeah, 17 walks with 40 hits allowed. 34 strikeouts, a lot of defensive changes for the Orioles. As Beckham moves from third to short, Peterson takes over at third. Rickert taking over for Jones in center. And a new catcher in Chase Sisco.
And the batter for the Twins is Mitch Garver. Scoring change in his ground ball in the 6th inning. He was originally given credit for a run batted in, but Machado's now been charged for an error. Remember, that was the play where his throw came to the catcher on one hop, and Joseph, trying to field the hop, removed his foot from the plate. There is Beckham now at short. But Garver started the scoring with a 2-run home run in the 5th and has caught another good ball game here this afternoon. Missing down and away.
Yeah, Brock with a good fastball, split finger. That's a slider right there. Just missing.
Just outside again.
Yeah, Brock gives you a little bit of that crossfire type of delivery.
And a walk. And that will send Garver to first to start the 8th inning. Tuesday on FS1, middle game of the series with the Royals, and it begins at 7 o'clock Central on FS1, or if you'd like, stream it live on the Fox Sports app. Bring up Jake Cave. Looped a single to left, drove in a run in the 8-run 6th inning. Low ball 1. To right side. Davis rifles his throw to Beckham to get Garver one away. Cave reaches on a fielder's choice.
Yeah, nice play right there by Davis.
One away, and that'll bring up Jorge Polanco.
Yeah, Davis right here has to go to his right, and with his momentum, you're right, he threw a P over to Beckham because Garver hustling to second.
Missing inside, ball 1. Polanco 1 for 4.
They picked up an RBI in that 8-run 6th inning.
And now at the knees. And as we suspected, Matt McGill, who hasn't pitched in a week, looks like he'll get a chance to finish the game off in the 9th. Fouled back. Polanco started playing this past week and is hitting at a 280 clip. Foul. You like him hitting the leadoff? He's got a nice look for me.
Yeah, I mean, like we talked about before, he brings a lot with him to the plate, you know, as far as his speed, a switch hitter, can steal some bases. Fouled a pitch off his back foot right there.
1-2.
Nice to give Paul Molitor an option or two.
The dugout. Orioles, of course, aren't holding the runner Cave at first.
And you do not run in this situation. You stay right there. 10-0 ball game. Have a baseball etiquette.
Polanco strikes out, first base occupied, so he's down and out, even though the ball wasn't fielded cleanly by the catcher in the dirt.
A good split finger right there by Brock. Picks up a strikeout.
Rosario is 0 for 4 with 2 strikeouts. He'll get another at bat.
Watch this ball, looks like a fastball, and the ball just on the other side of home plate. And Polanco strikes out for the second time in a game. It's actually skipped off the plate. Cisco did a good job of keeping it near his glove.
And Eddie reaches for the first pitch. He's retired on a ground out. We go to the ninth. Twins up 10-0.
We will take a look at that huge inning and what is shaping up to be one of the biggest wins offensively for the Twins this season. We'll also take a look and break down Jake Odorizzi's outing. 6 scoreless innings for him. We'll hear from Paul Molitor, and then don't forget, after the show, head to our Fox Sports North Facebook page where you can find Twins final pitch presented by Prism Research. You'll get a recap of this game, the series, and we will look ahead to the next series. We will see you after the game on Twins Live, guys.
Thank you, Audra. It'll be Kansas City starting a series tomorrow. Night game, day game. Then the Tampa Bay Rays come in. Matt McGill hoping to get the Twins into that series, finishing off a 4-game winning streak. Machado was taken out of the game. And this is Joey Rickard. One and 0. High fly left center and deep. Back is Rosario and makes the catch. He fought the very same sun that the Baltimore left fielder Mancini had to fight. One away.
Yeah, what he did right there, you know, he kind of raised his right hand and hopefully put it right where the sun was, and then used the glove to make the catch. So a couple different ways to fight that sun.
You can have eye black, you can have sunglasses, you can have the bill of your cap, but if it's hit right up in the sun, none of that does you any good.
No, not at all.
One down. And now Trumbo. Over the inside corner, strike one. For McGill, his first outing since the Twins were at Wrigley Field, and he didn't have a particularly fun experience there. No one involved with the Twins did. Pitched 4 1/3 innings in Wrigley, 2 different games, 8 hits, 5 earned runs, 2 home runs. And it's 0-2.
A couple good breaking balls right there by McGill.
It's hit a long way, foul down the right field line. The other night, Trumbo would be an attractive bat to add for a contending team, but his contract extends through next year.
At about $13 million.
Another one one fouled away. It's out hitting the Orioles 11-5. 0-2 to Mark Trumbo.
McGill, 28 years old, has got called up back in late April, started the season down in Rochester.
And down and in, gets a strikeout, 2 down.
Good off-speed pitch right there, and Trumbo strikes out for the second time in a ball game. McGill picks up his first. So the Twins looking to shut out the Orioles here as they face them for the last time. It would be the Twins' 7th shutout of the year. They're able to hold on to the 10-0 lead. And tomorrow's ball game, it'll be Danny Duffy. His name has been mentioned, and maybe clubs interested in him against Jose Barrios. He's staying here. We're not doing anything with him.
Twins will face a left-hander for the first time in a while. Duffy will pitch the opener for Kansas City. Chris Davis, the batter, taking ball 1. Hit hard to right field.
Well, there goes a shutout.
And Davis hits his 9th home run of the year. And a 2-out home run will get Scope to the plate.
Second home run of the series for Davis, home run number 9 on the year. Well, it looked like a fastball right down Broadway. And McGill giving up his 7th home run in relief. Oh, nice grab by the fan.
5th home run in the last 8 1/3 innings. Allowed by McGill. Breaking ball missed inside. Wave and a miss, 1-1. One and two.
Two good breaking balls. $22,557 here this afternoon. On Armed Forces Appreciation Day.
One and two to Jonathan Scope. Not yet. Scope singled his first time up. Since then, a ground ball and a fly ball. Pitch up high, 2-2. And another ball beaten foul. Orioles in danger of losing their 6th straight. They're 65th of the year. Right now, they're 40 games below 500. Outside now, 3-2. Valencia on deck. Only game the The Orioles have beaten the Twins. It took a walk-off home run by Adam Jones to get them the win on opening day back on March 29th. And a line drive and a base hit to right. Good at bat for Scope. And the Orioles aren't done yet.
9-pitch at bat, and Scope wins the battle with that base hit, his second of the ball game. So McGill trying to get the final out here.
And Valencia will bat. 0 for 3 on the day. Drops a breaking ball over. Strike one. It's hit hard to center. Cave is there, and for the first time in Twins history, they have completed a 4-game sweep of the Baltimore Orioles in Minnesota.
Well, a lot of good things happen. Timely hitting, of course, that's a big reason that the Twins won the 4-game series, but I think most importantly, 4 straight quality starts. Bullpen did a great job, and great defense.
Anthony LaPanta, yeah, the starting pitching led the way. The Twins got 25 innings from their starters in the 4 games.
Not a bad recipe for success, and the Twins start the stand with 4 consecutive wins. A one-sided affair here this afternoon, 10-1 the final. We'll show you how the Twins exploded for a big inning. We'll hear from Paul Molitor and preview the Royals series next on Twins Live.